Hey, what's up, Dale?
Hey, Charlie, doing
How
well.
are you?
Hey, did you get the video that was it Jennifer sent
You
you?
and Jessica did?
Can you send me a copy of that? Because it wouldn't work. She couldn't send me a file of that.
Yeah. Let's see.
I want to send it to my lender friend, and he wants to see what I'm looking at.
Picture. I'll send you the link.
Okay. Will it be the Dropbox link or the Zoom link?
Um, it will be the Dropbox link.
Will he be able to access that?
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be able to watch it straight from there.
Okay. Got the green screen behind you today.
Yeah, yeah. I've been traveling.
Oh, where are you
Uh,
at now?
I'm back home.
Okay.
I'm home now. And yeah, let me see if I can put my background back on. There we go. Back back at it.
Okay, there it is. I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're
So
welcome.
your your email you sent me last week regarding
Compliance requirements.
yeah, you want to send me a sample of anything you're getting from a real estate agent?
Yeah, well, I've got the two samples in there. One
Oh
one
yeah.
one is a realtor sample and one of them is a lender sample.
Okay.
And I think my default is going to be what I've got for the lender and what I got for the realtor. That's going to be my default if people don't give me something.
Sure.
Uh, and I think that's just kind of a good, safe way to do it. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Charlie. I think you're talking about the compliance stuff. I got my reply back from compliance. I just have to edit it a little bit and get it over to you.
Nice.
I think what you've got there for Dana and her husband is sufficient for me. I'll send you my stuff that to fill in the blanks.
Is that perfect? Perfect. Thanks for reminding me to do that last week, Jerry. And what I would love to do, what I thought we could do is I haven't been this busy in real estate in in a long time. And so I'd love to just kind of share the results kind of as a case study. Jerry, my hope is that it becomes something that you can share with the realtors that and uh, Dale, it might be something you can share, with your lender.
Yeah.
Um, and so I've got this little outline. Da, 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 da. And but first, I want to say, are there any questions that you guys have? Any particular thing that's shown up?
No. I see I don't look at Facebook Reels at all, or I don't shop Marketplace very often, but I was on there, not on Reels, I think it was all Marketplace. And I'm seeing different people of our groups, little ads in Marketplace.
Yeah,
And I think
that
I'm going to have a referral for you because a guy who used to work for me over in Michigan said, "Hey, I was in Marketplace shopping for some railroad ties and a used car, and all at once you're in my feed. How is this?"
that's hilarious.
So I'm going to tell him that he needs to talk to you.
Perfect. Perfect. Um, that's awesome. And I'm going to stop recording and hit start recording. See if this works here. Bum, 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 bum. Actually, we'll just go from here. And so here's a little case study about what's happened with my real estate. I haven't been this busy in years. Like I'm trying to get out of real estate, but I'm using referrals while you sleep to market myself on autopilot, and it's working. And I've been in real estate since 2013. I was really lucky in that I found buy referral only and implemented that system right away. And it's funny, my title person that I was in a networking group with, one of her famous testimonials was, most realtors are doing 5 or 6 deals, in a year. Charlie's been in the business for 9 months and he's got 5 deals at once. And I after the first 12 months, I made 6 figures a year and got up to 240, 300 grand a year, working 15 hours a week. And like it's a system that worked. Of course, I know how to generate a bunch of business and generate a bunch of leads. And I realized I didn't want to do that. And so the last few years, all I'm doing is referrals while you sleep for myself. But about 5 months ago, it was in February, I totally changed what I was doing. And it's we didn't just run the referrals while you sleep ads. We're also posting on my social media. So now every day, if you follow me, you see my Instagram post, you see my Facebook post, and then we run the referrals while you sleep system behind it. And it's just really 10x the results. And like I'm spending all of my time on referrals while you sleep, growing this business, and the system's working on in the background. And what's really cool about this, especially now that it's being posted on my pages for me, because like when I meet new friends, everyone's on social, they look me up, they friend me. Every day they get on, they see the new post as well as the promotions. And I don't have to, when I talk with them, I don't have to talk to them about real estate, because the referrals while you sleep is talking to them about real estate. They're seeing my videos, they're seeing my testimonials. So like my first client, it's a guy I do jujitsu with, and after class one day, he's like, "Hey, are you taking new clients? We really got to move." And they just had a new baby, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I told him I only work with people I like, but I'll make I'll make it a exception for you, and so met with him and his wife. We did a 5, 6, 7 over Zoom. Where I'm actually listing their house this weekend. Was able to help them buy their new construction first. Actually used the Show MI service to show them a couple homes. I ended up showing them the new construction. And then I had another client. We're actually listing their home this weekend as well. She called me on a Wednesday about a week later and said, "Hey, we found a house that we like. Can we go see it tomorrow? We want to buy it." And so it was about 45 minutes away. I set up the showing. The house had been on the market for a while. And we went. The other agent said that, "Hey, I think we're getting another offer. So if you want to put in your offer, you better do it quick." And I called her bluff. I was like, we'll wait a few days. It's been on the market for 90 days. I think we'll be okay. And so we got that house under contract. Again, my clients were able to buy it before they sold. And what's cool about both of these clients, I was able to find out what was important to them, do kind of the 5, 6, 7. And then I was able to say, all right, here's my suggestions on, lender to work with. Here's my suggestions on what to do to get the house ready. And both of them have done everything needed to get the house ready so that it sells for a lot of money. Like one of them that I'm listing, we actually got it's on a septic system, 30 acres, and we got another perk test in another place, so that there's an extra build site. So it took some time, but like I'm not worried that the clients are gonna leave me or, you know, be upset. Like we've had really good communication, trust is there the whole time. And then a couple weeks later, I had another client. I helped him buy his house. I think it was like 6 years ago. And he was like, "Hey, I need to sell my house. You're my guy." And we're listing his house in 2 weeks. And then I had another realtor, because you know, realtors in my network, they see me. He called and he referred his son that is moved here to Nashville. And like all of this has happened really while I'm trying to get out of there. I try, you know, I tell you, I'm trying to get out of real estate, work mainly on referrals while you sleep. But, you know, I was talking to my wife, like, I'm never going to quit working with clients like this because they're the best clients in the world. Like I absolutely love working with Mike and Tony, and like that. This is like, it's amazing. I'm, you know, probably going to make 75 grand from, you know, all these deals. And I'm thoroughly enjoying working with these people. And, you know, I've been using referrals while you sleep for, you know, I built it for myself 4 years ago, but actually posting as well as running it in the background. I know one of my posts, it was one of my testimonial posts. I had like 25 likes, which I've never had on the rest of the system. And everyone that I'm talking to, they're just seeing me more and more and more. And I mean, it's working for me. I'm really excited about kind of rolling this out for everybody. And hey, Tony. Hey, Dana. I, I I went through that little monologue I was recording. It's kind of like a little case study that I'm going to turn into a written blog post. And we're getting these posts rolled out here in the next couple of days for August. And I don't know, maybe I should stop telling people I'm trying to get out of real estate, but it's working. I keep getting more and more clients the more I say that.
I think, Charlie, what you need to do is tell them you want to get out of real estate. And by the way, you're going on vacation next week. You won't know what to do with everything.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting out and I'm going on vacation because that is the way it works. That's really the real secret, right? You just go on vacation once a month and you're going to have 120 closings for the year. Yeah. Yeah.
We went on vacation last week and got three houses under contract.
Do you guys have any idea why that actually works? Because I mean, it's consistent.
I think it's scarcity. You know, you're basically telling people I'm not going to be here. And so then they right away want, well, and if I'm going to get it done, I got to get it done right away. And so you're kind of artificially generating scarcity.
That makes a lot of sense.
How does it why does it happen when you don't tell anybody? I was scheduled to go out of town last week and I decided I better stick around. And then I finally got my client's house under contract. You know, it's just crazy how it works.
Yeah. But it works consistently, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, we've got Dana, thank you for I don't know if you got the email that I sent out where I'm asking everyone what compliance information they need.
Yeah, I did.
Thank you for being the example for the real estate agents. And we're doing that because especially now that we're posting it on people's pages, it's going to be easier for compliance to see. And we just want to make sure that everyone has all the compliance covered.
You have to ask, Charlie, every state's different for realtor compliance. So-
Yeah. So
and brokers change too.
yeah, we've emailed everyone out what is their compliance that they need. And then how often should I ask them if it needs to be updated?
Probably
Like,
once a year when legislature gets out.
yeah,
I would think it's their responsibility to tell you, since we're adults, we know if a change comes that's gonna affect my marketing, I'm gonna fix all my marketing. So
right.
I don't think that's really, it's not kind of you, but it's not really your responsibility. We would all think to tell you,
Yeah. I
you
like
know,
that.
fix me.
Yeah.
Fix me,
Need
Charlie.
it updated here. Yeah. So that's thanks for letting me kind of share that. We've got that going. Do you guys have any questions or anything that you think would be helpful to cover? One thing that Jerry and I are doing, I was thinking last week, I was going through some of Dean Jackson's marketing stuff, and it's kind of like what we were talking about a while back, Tony, right? But I was looking like, is there kind of like an evergreen thing that we could use to get people to raise their hand? And so this week, I think this week sometime, Jerry and we're going to do an interview on creating basically a checklist. Hey, if you're thinking about moving, get this 6-month checklist, like what to do, do these things 6 months before you're ready to move, to save you tens of thousands, something like that. And so we're going to, because right now, I think Jerry's offer has been, hey, if you're thinking about moving 6 months before you move, reach out to me and schedule a consultation. And, some people will do that, but that's a much heavier ask and much heavier lift than, hey, if you're thinking about moving, download this 6-month checklist kind of as a step one. And so once we do that, I'll share it with you guys, see if we need to change it for real estate. But I just love that as being I just want to brainwash all my clients. Call me 6 months ahead of time.
Good morning. Good morning.
Have you thought any more about that, Jerry?
I started working a little bit on the checklist because our calls are ready tomorrow. So I'll finish it this evening and then we can go through it and see how it holds up.
Perfect. And I've been really, I've been loving Claude for AI. ChatGPT, it's been like a 3-year-old, very it's not listening very well, being very erratic, but Claude's been great. So we'll take that, put it into Claude, get a checklist out of it, see if it can create like a nice little acronym for it, like homes or something like that, and see what we can come up with. That's one of the things that with these posts, it's like, what are just some simple calls to action so that we can track the effectiveness of referrals while you sleep. I know it's working because it's the only marketing I'm doing. But most people are doing a lot of stuff. And
I just got another referral, Charlie, from a couple that I did their mortgage for probably close to 10 years ago. And they just referred their son. And I touch base with her every once in a while because she works for the company that does my signage. But it's been like 2 years since I did anything with my sign. So I'm sure it's referrals while you sleep, keeping me in front of the people that, so I do that. I do my newsletter, I do my postcards, but my referral rate has gone up since the referrals while you sleep stuff is working in the background.
yeah, man, that's awesome. And it's pretty consistent for you. I mean, it
Mhm.
seems like every couple weeks to a month, you've got kind of another person out of the blue that calls you or refers you.
Right.
And yeah, I might have shared last week. I've noticed. I was talking to Jamie Smart about this, about who get referrals while you sleep, and one of the big insights that I've seen is it's people that have already invested in their database. So people that have already built a database, people already have a CRM, people that already know the value of it. Because I've seen a number of people that they like the idea of the automatic database, but they don't, truthfully, that they don't see the value of um, database marketing. Because if they did, they would have already invested in it. And that's been one of my insights over the last kind of month. Like, how do I find people that already see the value of database marketing? Tony, are things stabilizing for you a little bit?
Were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Because it bleeped.
Oh, I did.
And then all I heard was stabilize. I'm like, oh, that's gotta be for me.
Yeah. 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 Are things
Yeah,
stabilizing a little bit?
I feel this week like relaxed. I'm coming out of this freaking fog.
Right.
It's been such a crazy 6 months. And yeah, so I feel like I'm just starting over. Really, it's a real bizarre feeling. And I bringing in a new team member today. So I'm super excited for that because we're hoping that he's gonna be the one we hand the sword to when we slow way down. And we want to spend 90 days in Europe. We're hoping he's gonna take over. So he's got great potentials. Yeah. So that's cool.
Nice. How do you meet him?
I've known him for a long time, and he was actually working with the window covering company 20 years ago that still does all my window coverings for all our clients. And he was inspired. I just found all this out, but he was inspired by me to get into real estate
Cool.
about 10 years ago, and he became a realtor. And then he wanted badly to come on and work with Darren and I, but he told me last week that he was mortified of the thought of letting us down because he had respected us so much that he could not bear the thought of letting us down. So he's been studying his broker's exams and all these different things to get to a point where he felt like he could approach us. So he approached us last week and a couple weeks ago, and he felt confident enough to say, I want to be on your team. And we were like, we don't have a team, but we can make one. So here we are making a team. And I had discussed this for next year's plan to create a team of a couple people to take over the business in 5 years or more, and to get us to that point where we could be vacationing more. And it just kind of appeared. So we'll see how it works out. So, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now that's good positioning. Someone spends 5 years getting prepared to ask to join your team.
Yeah. Yeah. He pretty much proved to me he has a shot.
Yeah. Yeah. That is amazing.
It's quite the honor, and it was very cute. And we were taken aback by the whole conversation when he was expressing all this emotion he has around all the work he's done trying to get up the courage to ask us. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he has his broker's license now because of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I was just reading this book called The Magician's Way. Have you ever heard of that book?
I have not.
It's
It sounds
just
like
listen
something
to it.
I'm into.
Yeah, I think you'd like it. Jamie recommended it to me the other day, and it's you know, it's a story, kind of like Who Moved My Cheese or something like that. It teaches principles through a story, and it's really, really good at, basically just how to create the impossible in your life, and which is, really what we do. And it's like seven principles at it, and it was I really enjoyed it. It kind of brought some other things to life for me.
Nice. Sounds like it might have to do with some law of attraction as well.
Yeah, it kind of it centers around the idea of someone playing golf, and the difference is, most golf coaches, they have you focus on doing it the perfect way, and this other one was like focus and what you want, and relax and trust that you've got the natural built-in ability to create what you want. And because that's my family, that's our goal, to travel a lot the next year. And so I've been talking to Jamie about that, like how do I enjoy getting there? Like, I can get there, but I want to enjoy the journey too.
Right. And you also have to be able to 100% enjoy being away.
Mm-hmm.
So that would mean having really great systems and really great people, which is what we're working towards, to know that we have 100% confidence that everything is fine. And if there is an emergency, they can reach us. But for the most part, they would not need us. And that's the big way to really be able to vacation, because the plight of a real estate agent has always been, how do I truly leave my business for a week?
Yeah.
A new agent may be selling one house a year. No, it's easier. But somebody who's selling 4, 5, 6, 7 houses a month, that becomes very difficult to leave, unless you have that support team. So
yeah, I've got these listings happening, and I've got a transaction coordinator, and a few folks that can help me. But me and Cassie, we're going on our 20th anniversary cruise in September, the first week of September. And so the closings are going to be around that time. And so I'm putting in guardrails so that I'm not busy the whole cruise on
yeah,
this. And,
you just need to sell them all by tomorrow.
exactly.
Fine.
Close August 31st, and
You're done.
no delays. We're good.
Perfect. Just do your magician thing book and
Exactly.
there you go.
Charlie, another good way to get away is to go to Custer State Park, because our campground had 0 signal.
I love that idea.
So the only bad thing was there's a wildlife loop, and you gain some elevation and come down. When we gained elevation, my phone is going ding 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 ding.
Yeah. One of the best things from this weekend, there was a number of times where I was able to just, put my phone aside for a couple of hours and be present. I mean, that's like the new rich, to be able to be present with the kids and not be on that. And, I'm spoiled with peace and serenity now, and I like it. And I think that's probably, going back to the case study. In fact, this is kind of fascinating. 2018 was the first year that I went on one of Jamie Smart's trainings. And at the first weekend, at the very beginning, he says, "Hey, what do you want to get out of this?" And I listened to it somewhat recently, and and what I said is, like, I want to be able to enjoy my clients, and I want to be able to enjoy the real estate process. And that was 2018. And I will say, like, it's really amazing. Like, this isn't stressful. I don't feel like I'm trying to, drag a horse to water. I'm really, really enjoying working with these clients, because like, they truly see me as valuable, and they want me. They don't want a realtor. They want me to help them, and they want my suggestions, my advice. They that's so much different than someone that just wants to move and they don't care who they use. you know, that's really, really enjoyable. Some people don't realize that you can actually have a real estate or loan business like that, where people actually want to work with you. Of course, that's kind of y'all's practice, right?
Yeah, that's really the BRO way, right? We trained ourselves to attract versus to chase.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, Tony, right? What do you say to agents that maybe they've been in the business and like they don't think it's possible, or they've just been trained by brokers, you know, every Tuesday sales meeting, you know, next shiny object. Like when you've talked to people that think it's not, what do you tell them?
You know, I was just on a I was just on a Zoom call prior to this with 7 or 10, 7, 8 or more. There's a group of top producing agents in the world, and these folks they're selling 100 million in properties. So like, I'm just like in awe of this group, but for some reason they let me in. So I don't think they know. They just like me, so we're good. But I got to listen to them and talk with them, and it was very interesting because one of the women said, hey, how do we train our new agents to do what everybody in here does, which is stand behind their professional fees and their value and not accept less, because you all have experience, but these new agents don't. And nobody could come up with an answer and I dawned on me, and I said, you know, 30 years ago, this is my 30th year anniversary month. I said, 30 years ago, for the first 3 years of my career, I was the highest paid real estate agent in Tucson, Arizona. And the corporate offices of a major broker I was with at the time called me in and asked me how I was doing that. And they wanted me to teach their other 800 agents how I was being paid so much. And I had, you know, just started with BRO, but I also had my own conviction. And I told her, the reality is that when we have conviction and we believe in ourselves and we believe that we have value at what we bring to the table, that is what we expect of ourselves, and that is what is expected of others. And there's no negotiating that. We don't negotiate, right? And because I'm not going to negotiate my values with you. And so, and I should not have to, and I would never ask you to. And so I started back then, and I remember Joe was really hard on me in a conversation because I was really reluctant with him after a couple of years and said, you can't take vacations, you can't do this, you can't do that. And he said, fine, you're gonna owe me $1,000 if you don't do what I say. Let's make a deal. And I said, all right, let's do it, because he was all about accountability. So he said, schedule with me right now 12 vacations, one every month. So I did, and I threw up a couple times after I hung up. And he was right, of course. What happened was that year I doubled production, right?
Yeah.
And it was because I became so efficient and so good at real quickly trying to build systems and get myself into that place. And then that taught me, oh, wait, I can take a vacation every month. I can make more money. Oh, and I pulled that off. So now I don't have to work nights and weekends. Oh yeah, all because I set up what was true to me, and I attract the right people. And the way to do that, of course, is by using your database, working with the people who already like, love, and trust you. So that training, you know, in the first 5 years of my career was crucial to having a really great life in real estate. And so I tell people that story, and I tell them, and the lady that was on the call this morning was like, oh man, I get it now. Like, it's just, I started my career with, I'm not cold calling, I'm not door knocking, I'm not going to chase people, I'm not buying leads. I will have a practice where people come to me. That was my conviction before I met Joe. And so Joe was the plug-in that was like, oh, he's got the systems. So that was perfect. That was alignment.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Yeah, I think it comes here. We have to start, if we're gonna talk to new agents and train people, we have to teach that, we have to make sure their values, their core values are really, they truly believe in themselves and what they're doing. It's the same thing as you truly believing in what you're doing with referrals while you sleep. You've already started having these conversations of conviction to not even needing to be in real estate anymore because you're so true to what you're doing here, right? You're able to move, and you can keep taking clients if you want, but your conviction is very apparent because you're already talking about making this move just to doing referrals while you sleep.
Right. Yeah.
And you could easily add a team member to real estate and give them 50-50 and let them just run all your clients. And you could do referrals while you sleep and make money and help somebody else that you like in your city.
Right.
And your clients would still get good service.
Yeah.
So.
And that's
Awesome.
probably what will end up happening because I mean, the system works. I've got 10 years of building the trust and the systems, and like I've got one mentor, he says, Charlie, don't shut it down. You spent 10 years building this. Like you've got
you, and it's not fair to the people who like, love, and trust you. You've put all this time into creating those relationships and being there for them. And for me personally, shutting the business down is one option, but to me, it's not a good option because I feel like I would be saying F off to all these people who have been so loyal to us for so long. Right. And I don't believe in that. I believe like we owe them. They've been loyal to us for 30 years.
right.
So why would I not keep making sure they have somebody to give them that service going on forward for their kids and grandkids? Right.
Yeah.
So kind of like it's a love thing you give back to those people who have given to you this whole time. So I don't think Charlie walking away from them is the greatest idea. I think you figuring out how to make sure Charlie's still there somehow.
Right. I love that. And I mean, my perfect world, if I could do a 5, 6, 7 with each of my clients for the rest of my life, I would love that. Like, it's my favorite thing.
Yeah, I know. You get very excited. Your eyeballs change and everything.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Dale?
Oh, I would just, for a couple of years, I was just struggling with retirement, because financially we can retire. Then I talked to my good lender friend. I said, well, what are you going to do? And for me, I did shut down a business before. And I felt so bad after that because I felt like I let everybody down because they had no place that they could go to get honest, good service. And, people would come in and I would send them to a competitor if they could do a better job than I could or something like that. And they came to me for that guidance. And that was a snowmobile shop I owned. And boy, I felt I had a pit in my stomach for a couple of years after that because I still see people up on the snow and they're asking me if I'm working in my shop, in my garage to do stuff. And I did it a little bit, but I finally weaned myself off, and I still have a presence in the industry even today. When I'm out playing, people know me and recognize me. I don't know who they are. And so I get it completely about shutting things down. And that's been my struggle with real estate. And so what I've come to, for me, I'm just still doing it. I'm just not chasing it. I'm letting it come to me. And if I can do 10 transactions a year, fine and dandy. If I do 5 transactions a year, I don't care because I've saved up the money. That's my retirement. But it keeps me going. It keeps me active and gives me something to do when I'm not traveling. And every time I travel, that's when all the business comes in. And that's the only thing I don't like about real estate is the feast or famine. When I want to go enjoy myself, then I'm pulled back in, and so I'm just dealing with it. It's not a big deal. I just make it work. I did call on another agent in the office, and she handles her clients great. I can trust her. And it just hurt me to come back and only get 50% or less of my commission after I did the preliminary work, just for her to fill in. And so, but you know, that's my first experience of doing that, sharing commissions. And now I'm over that hump and I just expect it. And if I can do what I want, it's just the price you pay, you know, to stay in the business. And to get out of the business, the question is what am I going to do? I got to do something. I don't want to die on the couch, you know, and I do enjoy making money. I mean, that's the fun part of it, is to still have an income so that you're not tapping into this savings, you know, for me.
It's a
Right.
career you never have to quit.
I think Joe used to bring up the word retire means to make obsolete. And Oprah Winfrey had a big discussion about it when she tried to retire the first time, and then she came back and she said Gail busted her on it, because if you don't know what your new passion is, you will become obsolete, and most people die within 7 years of becoming obsolete, meaning retiring.
And that was my fears. I didn't want to be obsolete. You know,
Yeah,
I
right.
didn't have that word to put on it, but now you just hit it on the nail.
Right, and
And
passion and loving real estate and having fun in real estate is your passion. That's great. Then you're not obsolete. You're still helping people. You're still part of your community. There's all these connections that happen, and money's the bonus. It's icing on the cake. But the bigger bonus is that you have a purpose in life, and that is huge. That's a huge benefit to not retiring.
Oh, everything you read about retirement is you got to have a purpose. You got to have something driving you out there, whether it's donating your time or doing this. And I don't like to donate my time. I don't want to go to the senior center and help these other people with those things. You know, I want to do other things, you know. So, but I do get a kick out of helping younger people learn how to make money.
Oh, then do that. I mean, that's wicked. Yeah, Charlie, we need to finish that up.
Yes.
Now you brought that up.
Yeah.
Jerry, I sent you a message in chat.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Charlie, we need to get back on that. I'm now that I'm refocused again.
Perfect. Yeah, grab some time on my calendar, and I think we're close to having that finished.
Yes, and we promised some statistic thing. You'll have to remind me to do something to help figure out your statistic, like get you stats.
Yeah, like return on relationship or increase referral.
Something concrete for you, yeah. Numbers. Yeah. Okay.
And yeah, I love, one of my favorite books that really kind of helped get me to referrals while you sleep was Who Do You Want to Be a Hero To? Which is the little book by Dan Sullivan. And Dan Sullivan, he works with successful entrepreneurs. And one of his things working with his clients was they're like, I'm successful. I've got everything that I need that I want. Like, well, what do I do now? I don't want to retire. And his kind of talking to them, his insight, his suggestion, like you've got the freedom to like, who is it that you want to be a hero to? Who do you want to serve? And I love that. Like, that's just such a good guiding light for me. Like for me, one of the things I realize is I do love working with my clients that like have like a meaningful, 5, 6, 7. But even more so, my favorite people to serve are entrepreneurs, that want to live a life and, not just be workaholics or, but really, want to serve other people, which, Referrals While You Sleep does that. And I think that's just such a good beacon for me. Like, who is it that I'm going to be a hero to, whether I get paid for it or not? And then how do I just get paid for it?
Well, it all comes to you, and that's the great part. I mean, if being a hero, if you don't expect anything in return, you'll get a return.
Right.
Always. It's kind of fun. This last week, I sold a car to this fellow. He's a retired, I believe, pilot from the military. And he said he bought a house in every United States place that he was sent to. And he's accumulated about 6 or 8 properties over the years, and he's ready to buy some more. And he's retired. He doesn't go to work now. He's not making big money, but he can stay home with his kids, versus when they were young, he was always gone. He's an Iraq and Afghanistan veteran and stuff like that. And so we had a great conversation. And when we're all done, he buys my car and he's my client now.
Yeah. Right.
Just because we were truly like-minded individuals, in our real estate quest. My real estate quest is kind of ending, my acquisitions, but I'm still not opposed to buying something if the right deal comes up.
Right.
I'm just pickier. And so anyways, that was fun. And then yesterday I was at my dentist. I sold him my house. He moved here from Midwest. Well, his daughter just finished college. She's a dental hygienist, and she happened to be working on me. I didn't know who she was because she had her mask. I haven't seen her for 10 years. When I saw her, she's just a little girl, 10-year-old little girl. And but I did know that she was working for her dad, and from a Facebook post. So anyways, the dad came in and introduced me to her, and she dropped her face mask, and I saw who she was. And she said, well, I'm not of home buying age yet. So I didn't say anything, I just let her work, clean my teeth. And so we got all done. And I asked her, I said, so, you said something really interesting a little while ago. I said, you said that you weren't of home buying age. What's that mean to you? She said, well, I'm just not old enough to buy a house. I says, you're old enough to buy a house. She's 22, she doesn't have any 22-year-old friends that are buying a house. I said, obviously you might have some, college debt. You just got your first really good job. You're probably not qualified to buy a house yet financially, but you will be soon. And here's the 3 things to do to get ready to buy a house. If you want to buy a house, if you want to live in this area, which of course she does. And so she said, man, that's great information. She says, I'll definitely be calling you when I get ready. This is, anytime, just call with questions. But it's fun helping those young kids. I told her, I said, my daughter was 22 when she bought her first house, and that's 10 years ago. And now she's got this huge amount of equity and life is easy. I said, and then I told her about a couple other young couples that bought their first house, another young couple. Now we're buying their second house 4 years later, used the first one as a stepping stone, and now they're getting closer to what they want at the end. Right. And but it's just interesting. Kids, they don't hang out with adults, they hang out with kids, so they don't learn anything.
Right. So true.
So
I love that. Yeah. You love being a hero to them. And I love that this is something that we never have to quit. What we can do as many or as few deals as we want.
Well, you get like that. The military guy says, you've got the golden handcuffs. You're stuck with the job, but they're golden.
Right. Right. Yeah. And yeah, if you ever want to, I've had pretty good success having showing agents that I pay $1,000 or $2,000 at closing instead of splitting 50% with them, and be happy to share that with you.
I've never known how to do that. So yeah, it'd be nice to get on board with something like that, to learn how to share your commissions or just pay them cash up front or whatever to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I love flat fees instead of percentages, because my last showing agent, we worked together for 5 years before he wanted to go do something else. But like having a compliant client is the golden goose. Having a system that creates golden or compliant clients, like that is the most valuable thing. To me, that's 90% of the value. Because we've got, in fact, my showing agent, after we were working together for a while, he's like, man, I'm so good at this. Like all these deals are just closing smoothly. Like I should get paid like a half or a third. We talked, I was like, the reason that this seems smooth for you is because they trust me. I've done everything to put the systems in place, and everything that we do creates more trust. And this, like, they don't trust you. They trust me, but they trust you because I say you can trust, you can trust Luke. Like, and it was fun, you know, because he had some of his own clients and he saw just how difficult it is when you don't have a compliant client, you know, when you've got that client that, you know, makes you want to quit the business. He's actually still does some real estate, and he's adopted, you know, our systems. You know, he does the 5, 6, 7, and you know, does all the systems, and all that to say, being able to create or attract compliant clients, I really think that's 90% of the value. Like that, to have a career that you never want to quit, to have people that Tony, right, we just got a few minutes, but I'd love to know, like, when you go on vacation, what do you tell your clients? How do you handle that while you travel, or you don't work weekends, you don't work nights? What's your communication with your clients?
Different communication about weekends and nights, of course, because we set up expectations, and we've done that so well for so long because I was so coachable when I met Joe. I just did whatever he told me. So so people literally call us and say, hey, we know you don't work on a Sunday, but can we meet with you Monday? They literally already have been referred and know that they're asking permission for our time and for, you know, what time works for us, which is different, right? Vacations, I do not share vacations. I have found, for me, it's just a private time. And so you won't see me posting, I'm in Europe, I'm drinking a cocktail in Paris. You know, you just don't see me doing that. I see all my other realtor friends doing it, but we don't post. We just stay away from it because I really want to hone in on being as present as I can on that vacation, knowing I still have to answer that phone if I'm needed. So I stay away from it. My practice is to set every file up. Everything is prepared before we leave, and people are in place to handle anything. But by the time I walk out the door and get on that plane, my files are pretty ready to go. My paperwork's done beforehand. I know what's happening. So it's just being efficient and preparing prior. And then I don't tell anybody I'm leaving. And if I do get a call and it's a client needing me or something to that effect, then I have a conversation with them, and I don't disturb. I won't disturb that by telling them where I am or any of that stuff. And then I'll post vacation stuff later. Like hey, this was our trip to Paris a few months ago. I could put that on my social media for connection to folks, but otherwise I just try to stay out of the vacation thing.
Have you done a 3-month vacation before?
No, the longest we've gone is about 35 days, which we were in Greece for a month, and then we decided to not fly home on our flights. We canceled them, jumped a flight to Paris, and then stayed for a few more days. So yeah, so about 35 days was the longest I've taken out.
That's awesome.
The longest I've done is 3 weeks.
Nice. Yeah, it feels like the first week is decompression, and then you get into the next week and the next week, and you're really in on vacation, right? It changes your body. So I like taking longer vacations. If I'm on a camping trip, I don't mind answering the phone. Like, I don't mind talking to clients, but literally they probably won't need to call me. But if I'm going on a camping trip for 5 days, typically my calls are dead, except if it's a stranger that's been referred. Otherwise the clients have been so well taken care of, and emails are automatically scheduled. So they'll see an email on Monday while I'm on vacation, and it's fired out giving them information. So I'm so prepared for them ahead. So I don't usually get many calls even in camping, but I don't mind answering my phone when I'm doing something like, let's just run up and get out of the heat for 5 days or whatever. Yeah, right. I'll do that. So that's not a problem.
That's awesome. Well, we're right at 1. Jerry, any thoughts?
So I'm likely the oldest guy here, and I've been doing that same thinking about retiring and and Dale said you don't want to die on the couch. I've seen too many people that retire and in a couple of years they're in really bad shape. So, I want to keep my mind sharp. And my wife and I were driving back and my phone did ring and I picked it up and handled the call and she said, I don't see you ever quitting that. And so so I, but there again, when I was thinking about trust and thinking about how in today's environment, how lacking that is in so many levels, and how gratifying it is when somebody says, what do you think I should do? I trust you. So I think we should all cherish that because it's a fairly rare commodity these days.
Yeah.
Yeah. And earned,
Mhm.
earned trust, not on accident. I love that. Well, I feel good kind of ending on that note. Tony Ray, grab some time on my calendar. Looking forward to finishing that up. And
On it, boss.
I'll see y'all soon.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.